Mr. Cannabis.
Now, I'm not going to go super detailed into a lot of this equipment. I just want to go through and cover them so that you know what tools are available to you. As we learned all the way back in sections 1.1 and 2.7, CO2 is an essential component of photosynthesis, and increasing its levels in the grow room can lead to faster and more efficient plant growth, increased yields, and better crop quality. Additionally, elevated CO2 levels can improve plant resistance to disease and pests as the overall plant health is higher. There are several methods for adding CO2 to a grow room, depending on the specific needs of the space and plants. One such method is to use bag CO2s, such as the Exhale homegrown CO2 bags. These bags theoretically provide a continuous supply of CO2 without the need of refills or expensive equipment, and can possibly supply up to 1500 ppm of CO2 for up to 6 months. Another method to use is injector systems, which combine precision flow gauge and an industrial solenoid valve to regulate CO2 levels. The Reg 1 CO2 regulator is an example of an injector system that can be set from either 0.5 to 15 cubic feet per hour and used in conjunction with a CO2 controller or timer. CO2 levels can be monitored periodically using a CO2 level tester like the Active Air CO2 test kit. This is an inexpensive alternative to costly electronic monitors that can measure CO2 levels from 300 to 5,000 ppm. When using CO2 in a grow room, it's important to consider the specific needs of the plants in the space. Too much CO2 can be harmful to plants, and it's recommended to maintain your CO2 levels between 1,000 and 1,500 ppm. It's also important to ensure the proper air circulation and ventilation of the grow room when using CO2 systems. High levels of CO2 can displace oxygen within your grow space, creating potential safety hazards. It's also important to note that CO2 is heavier than air, which means it'll sink to the bottom of your grow room, necessitating ventilation back up into the canopy. When using injector systems, it's essential to use CO2 controller or timer to maintain a proper CO2 level and prevent overexposure. Finally, it's important to note that CO2 systems can be an added expense that may or may not be necessary for all grow rooms or plants. It's recommended to consult with a professional or conduct thorough research before investing in an expensive CO2 system. CO2 supplement is only needed in highly efficient rooms. Otherwise, it'll probably just go to waste. Young growers, even ones with a green thumb, may not be running a room with the high enough efficiency to use the extra CO2 put into the system.